we also encourage people from other professions to come and join the session. We have somebody from the Alzheimer's Society comes along sometimes, and that is good as well because she can provide extra information for the carers. What else is out there? Obviously, passionate about dementia care, but I was also I like my sport as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I first started the group that we run back in 2017.
Hello, I'm Luca.
Hello.
And welcome to the Living Care Company channel, where we help people to navigate loved ones' care journeys. And welcome to George Buckley from Specialist Football Club in Shropshire. Hi, George. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you, Luca. Yes, not too bad, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. So what is your club? Can you tell us what it is you actually do? What makes it special?
Yeah, I'll just tell you a little bit about the history, really, my sort of background, just a little bit, because it ties into why I started what I did. I was a mental health nurse for 30 years, and the last 10 years of my career, I worked with the memory service at Bridge North. I was a band 6 nurse there, and then I retired at 50. I went and did trained in something totally different, which was pest control at the time. I went and did that. That was totally different than what I've been doing for the past 30 years. I fancied a change, but then my passion was always with like nursing the elderly, and more often not as well nursing people and going to visit people who had memory problems and working with their families. So it was always in the back of my mind to try and set something up, a group, because I obviously passionate about dementia care, but I was also, I like my sport as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I first started the group that we run back in 2017. That's when I started it. And it was initially called Walking Football for Dementia. But as time's gone on, I tweaked it a little bit, because when people say they saw the thing walking football, they think that it's going to be a competitive type environment, which is obviously not. That's what I wasn't aiming for that at all, really.
Yep.
I was just aiming for sort of like people to be able to come to a group just to try to improve or maintain fitness levels, really. And also a social activity. So they were the two main aims. It was based around football. But as the group has evolved, really, I've changed it a little bit now. It's more ball activities for people with dementia, but I've opened it up a little bit to people over 60 who may have had mental health problems or ongoing mental health problems. That's how the group has evolved over the time, really. Yeah.
That's really interesting, George. So, George, what does a typical session at the club look like? Where is it? Is it outside, inside? What sort of balls? How long does it last?
It's a typical session. It lasts about an hour.
Yep.
What happens with the folks that we've got at the moment, there's a couple I pick up from Ludlow. I take them. We held it at the Seven Centre at Highley.
Yep.
That's where we go to do the session. And Halo, who run it, they actually give us the use of the hall for free, which they've done from day one, which has been really useful for us. So basically, we consist at the moment of about 5 people, 5 chaps who come, but they come with their wives or carers. And whilst we're doing the session, the carers can go and have a cup of tea in the Seven Centre and have a chat about things, care issues and things like that. And then we start the session. We have a few little warm-up exercises. It's all chair-based, the warm-ups are. And then we do that for about 10 minutes or so. And then what we do then, we split off into, I have a couple of people who come and help me as well. And we split off into different sort of like groups. And then it's a bit almost like circuits, almost like once you've done a little bit on one, you go to the next item of equipment. And the items of equipment that we use are we've got some cones, which the chaps can dribble round them with the
Yep.
ball. And that's really good for foot and brain coordination. And judging distances and things as well. Found it quite useful for that. And then one of the other sections that we use as well is there are a couple of rebound nets. And basically what we do, we pop them up, and then we've actually got three. We use one with tennis balls, one with footballs, and also I've got a handheld one as well, which I can use at the end. And what we do then with that, I go round in the circle and we just bounce it and try and catch the ball. Again, that is really good for eye coordination issues. I try to use bright colours as much as I can, because if anybody's got visual impairment, it can be useful for that as well, again, with judging distances. And then we've also got, we've got some football goals, some small football goals. And we have, towards the end of the session, we have a little bit of a sort of like penalty shootout, that sort of thing, taking shots at the goals, that type of thing. And then we reconvene then at the end and do a few sort of like warm down exercises to make sure nobody gets like cramps, anything like that. Really, it's all very gentle. It's not really intense at all, sort of thing, but it's just enough, just at a level that you get some benefit from it, really. And the chaps who come, they enjoy it, really. It's a good social activity as well. It's like, that's a big thing. If you've got memory problems or you've got some mental health problems, the social side of it is as important as the physical side, really. Yeah, so that's what the group entails anyway. Yeah.
I always found that when you're playing with a ball, for example, or playing football or squash or that sort of thing, you're really focused on what's going on in the moment. You're not thinking about whatever you might be worried about, say if you've got depression or anxiety. So I can imagine for people with anxiety and depression, being in the moment is it's almost like therapy sort of thing. Very
and it's people trying their best.
Yeah.
And
how does it work with dementia? How do they? Obviously, they go there, they know, and it must be explained to them what the purpose of the session is, or they must be reminded of that. Through that session, are they aware throughout that session why they're there, or might they sometimes?
Well, the chaps who've been coming have been coming to a fair few now, so even if the memories are not so good, because in a group, you get people at different levels. And some people you can almost let that they know what they're going to do. But there's a couple of the chaps whose dementia is a bit more advanced. You have to guide them a bit more, and a bit of prompting occasionally as well about what we're doing. But it's all done in a way, because approaches are everything, really. You make the person feel valued at that moment in time, when there's no right or wrong either, really, with it. So it's just having a go. But as I say, some people do need a bit more encouragement and a bit more guidance than others, really. Yeah.
And for you, what's the most rewarding thing, George, about running your sessions?
For me, it's seeing people enjoying it, and also for the carers, they have a bit of time, because sometimes when you're looking after somebody at home who's got memory problems, it's quite difficult. It can be quite draining sometimes, for the chance for them to come and talk to similar people who are going through similar issues. That's really good for me to see. You're providing them with a bit of an outlet, really. But I think also one of the other achievements, really, is that the group has been going for 7 years.
Wow.
Now, that's very rewarding for me to see that it still continues to go. People come and go. It's the nature of what we do, the nature of the illness. Some of the chaps are no longer with us, but we never forget them when new people come along as well. And there's a couple of the chaps who've been coming from 2017 as well. So that's been very good as well. And they always look forward to it as much as I do. And obviously when COVID came along, that changed a lot of things for a lot of people. And obviously we couldn't do much. But what I did try to do, I tried to contact the chaps or the ladies online. There's a few exercises they could do in the garden regarding football and ball activities. So we had to try and be resourceful really during that time as well. That was something that meant a lot to me really. And it's also the feedback you get as well. People say how much they enjoy it as well. And we also encourage people from other professions to come and join the session. Say we have somebody from the Alzheimer's Society comes along sometimes, and that is good as well because she can provide extra information for the carers, what else is out there.
Changed since 2017 when you first started.
Yeah, that's the thing, really. I think I've adapted the group really to meet the needs. Yeah, it used to be a lot of, it was football based when I first started. And yeah, we did a few little warm up exercises, but a lot of them were like when we started in 2017, it was usually standing and not sitting. But I've come to realise the chair based exercises are a lot better really for people.
Yep.
And you're just reducing the risk of anybody falling over, that type of thing, really, with all that. But I think probably the big thing, it is open to ladies as well, the group. We did have one lady who came. Unfortunately, I think they travelled from the other side of Shrewsbury for that. And it was just too far for her, really. But anyway, so the changes, really, I think the biggest one is I'm using more of the rebound equipment now, rather than it was all feet and stuff based before.
Yep.
But then I've adapted it because the idea of the rebound came from myself, really, because in the younger days I was a goalkeeper and used to use that sort of stuff for hand-eye coordination. I thought I can try and tie it in now with the chaps who come to the session. And I think that is probably the biggest change since 2017.
Great. And have you noticed been some of the key cognitive and physical benefits?
Yeah, I think it's basically, like concentration levels are good, I think. And also like doing the same exercises can be quite repetitive, but you do the repetitive stuff like little bits sink in. It's like putting stuff through a sieve, little bits stick. And, the person comes along the next time. Yeah, what they learned at the previous session or skills are there. It's like it's remained there to say for the next session, really. But also, I think one of the things as well is people have got something to look forward to, enhance. And if they've got something to look forward to, it can lift the mood as well. And there's a chap who, he hasn't got dementia, this chap, he's over 60, but he had quite really bad social anxiety issues. And it's giving a bit of a boost, which is great, really. Yeah, so as I say, concentration levels as well, that it can improve them. And I've noticed that with people. I'll just give you a quick story. It's a chap who's no longer with us anymore. He was 93 when he came. And I used to pick him up from Ludlow and we used to take him over to the Severn Centre. And I'm in terrible trouble with his balance. When he first came, he was kicking the ball, he was almost falling backwards. And then over time, that improved. And
Really?
that was great. Yeah, he was never going to rocket the ball down the hall, but he was kicking it and not falling backwards. So I had to stand with him when he first started to stop him falling, really. But then as time went on, that improved, just putting his head over the ball, getting the balance right. And that was a fantastic thing for me to see, really. And I used to feed back to his wife when she was really pleased about that. But yeah, it's only small things, I know, but it's a big thing as well for somebody.
Yep. And how would, if someone wanted to come to the sessions and get involved, how would they get hold of you?
So I've got my contact number. My number is 077
Yep.
349 07128.
Yep.
And my email address is, it's all lowercase, this, George B, that's the letter B, dot Buckley, that's Buckley,
Yes.
at btinternet.com.
Great.
And the Seven Centre, I think, 01746 861 000.
Brilliant. And is it right for
And
people
what they
to give you a
tend to
call?
do, if anybody needs up inquiring there, they tend to get in touch with me. And
Yes.
then what I tend to do, and I'll ask the person out. Obviously, the next section's actually tomorrow afternoon. But what I tend to do is I invite them to come down, or I guide them as well. I don't know if you've seen the video I did Midlands Today in 2018, I think it was. I was on there with the reporter, and she came down and they filmed one of the sections as well. And the reason I did that is because to get the word out there.
Yes.
Really, you can have a diagnosis of the dementia or now any mental health problem over 60, but you can still do things, not necessarily football or sport. You can do other things. And the reason for going on there was to get the word out there, really. And we had 33,000 views on Facebook, which is incredible, really. You try and inspire others to try and set up similar things in other parts of the Midlands, really.
Fantastic. George, it's been brilliant chatting to you. Love to have
Luca,
what you do.
Likewise. And
well
what I do say, like, if any of you folks ever fancy coming down to have a look at a session in person, please feel free.
Fantastic. Brilliant, George. Well,
All right then, Luca.
nice to meet you and catch you soon.